Hi folks, it's AK here, and I'm at one of my favorite 城中村 in all of Xi'an called Xibali Cun. It is just outside Weiyijie Station on Line 2. As soon as you enter to the right, you have an open market. There's lots of restaurants, but they have more than just restaurants. It's essentially an outdoors food court, and people get their drinks, barbecues, and whatever right over here for a pretty low price. Of course, some of these areas are being demolished or at least changed and renovated. This one is probably not long for this world. Anyways, as soon as you enter the Xibali Cun, the village, you have a lot of telecommunication stores. They fix computers, they fix phones, and all that. But mostly they just sell telephone cards, SIM cards. And the rest of this entire village is pretty much just all small restaurants. Now, villages like these within the city tend to house a lot of migrant workers simply because it's cheap to live in places like these, and you can have essentially everything you need right at your doorsteps. You can literally buy whatever you want as long as it's daily necessity. So, socks, underpants, food, fruit, and phones and all that. Everything comes at a fairly low price because of the rent as well, and as well as the wages. The wages here are lower than average, but not by too much. Okay, these are power banks for rent. And in some of these alleyways, are special spas and, of course, special hostels. This is one of the reasons that these places are being taken down. It's hard to control the population here. You never know who's staying here or how many houses there are, how many rooms are there in these old houses, and so on. Of course, with all these hidden alleys, you never know what to expect. But a lot of these are legitimate bathhouses and whatnot. Since these houses don't always have plumbing, people have to use public bathhouses. Okay, take a look at the prices here. It's about 5 kuai less than what you would find in a downtown region, or at least in a more urban setting. But this is more or less the same as normal. They tend to be around 20% or 30% lower than the prices you'd find outside of the villages. I'm not quite sure what this is. Looks like the community center, but I don't know exactly what they do there. Hair salons. There are lots of hair salons in these places. And based on what that old guy just said, it's likely that they are getting some of these houses demolished. Public washroom. Oh, looks like a winery. They make baijiu. It's a type of liquor made out of rice. Delivery. Cat. I don't know what they do. I think it's just I'm not sure. I think it's one of the grocers, but it could be that they're just staying in a shack. There is a way to call this type of alley that's as thin as this. You can only see a single, basically just a line, that's the sky. 叫一线天, 一线天. Literally translates to a line of sky. And you can find a lot of these types of villages in pretty much every city you go to, except for the more newly built cities like Shenzhen. So these are around Guangzhou, Wuhan, Shanghai, and so forth. You can find these everywhere. But Xi'an is especially has an especially large number of them, even though most of these villages have already been taken down. There used to be well over 100, I think around 190 of these villages in Xi'an about 4 years ago. And now there aren't nearly as many left. And Xi'an used to be the city with the highest number of these villages. Family restaurants, delivery, storage, warehouse. More of these alleyways. And that's the delivery kitchen. These look nice. Noodle house. And I guess this is one of the major streets of the village. Oh yes, it is. So if I keep heading this way, I'm gonna be outside the village and I'll be encountering one of the best Indian restaurants in all of Xi'an. And it's a halal Indian restaurant run by a guy from, I can't remember, somewhere in South India, Southeast India. And he does not really speak English. He speaks broken English, he speaks broken Chinese, and I don't know what his native language really is. I think I've asked him, but I don't think he understood me at the time. Anyways, you can definitely find lots of fresh vegetables and other produce in these villages. It's likely that they got their supplies from a relative who lives near the city in one of the actual farms. So they get these delivered here in the morning and start selling it. Lots of food, fried rice, fried noodles, chuan, barbecues, and those, I guess bread, if I have to translate it as that. Spicy bread. Clay pot, cold noodles, duck neck, and photography places, convenience stores, and everything. And at this point I am officially lost because I've been taking random turns without knowing where I was going. I wasn't even looking. But if I do make it out of the village, I will know where I am, and then I will be heading over to my to meet up with my friends. We're gonna be having dinner today. For once, I've been kind of busy in the last few days, doing some reading and watching anime, as always. Okay, that's it's a keysmith, a locksmith. Yeah, I think right outside this gate is where I will find one of the main streets and I'll be able to know where to go. So this is all for now for the tour of Xibalichun. There are a few more of these villages in Xi'an and of course in a lot of other places in China. So before these places are gone, definitely take some time to visit them. They will eventually be swept under the rugs of history. Anyways, that's all for now. AK signing out.